are like, we don't do these animals. We don't do wombats or cockroaches. That's it. Like you can make any other animal you want. Those are the two.
Great segue, David. Speaking of cockroaches, our next movie's WALL-E.
Yes, fantastic movie.
Which actually there is an animated cockroach in that movie.
So it's not on the list. Wombats. That's the only thing that's not on there. WALL-E. Now WALL-E was who did it? Who was the director?
Directed by Andrew Stanton, and then written by him as well. Written by Pete Docter as well. And Andrew Stanton previously directed Finding Nemo.
So when that came out in 2008.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're
almost
like at a year
after Ratatouille.
When I heard about WALL-E, this movie, I remember specifically, I was like, what the hell is this movie about?
Yeah.
And they specifically, I think, did that. They didn't they marketed it as like the new Pixar movie. It's about a robot named WALL-E. And I thought they were making fun of, and I don't know if they are making fun of Walt Disney. WALL-E. I didn't, they called, nickname Walt Disney was, hey, WALL-E. But I didn't know if that was a joke, but I was like, what is this movie about?
Yeah.
But they had me at robots in space. So I was like, got it. Done. Check. And he looked like Johnny Five's alive. So I was like, yeah, his little eyes. They're clearly playing on that. But again, this movie, more than any other Pixar movie, maybe Up is pretty close with its first 10 minutes of telling a captivating story with almost no dialogue.
No words.
No, there is no dialogue until like the latter third of the movie when the humans come into play.
And that's a feat in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Another movie that I recently saw, and I don't remember the name of the movie, but it's about a bunch of sheep. I can't remember what it was. The guys who did
Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah,
I know what you're thinking.
Shaun the Sheep, I think is what it's called. Shaun the Sheep. Go watch that. If you want to see a movie that has literally no dialogue, it has the Sims, you get context from, like if I go, like I'm saying something like, freaking out.
Freaking minions.
No, but good point. But WALL-E, he has a, like you get context from his noises, but no
from
dialogue.
His eyes,
they're friendly. Yeah.
But this movie has such a great arc. I mean, the whole idea of what is going on? And then you get it at the end, and it's just like, it's a different structure from any other Pixar movie where it's kind of, the payoff is so late in this movie of like, but the amount of freaking emotion and character they give to this cute little robot. When he makes the cubes, I want to cheer. I want to clap for him. Yeah, you did it. Good job, man.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
This was the first movie since Monsters, Inc. where I was like technology.
Yeah.
The way it looked.
Yeah.
Looked great. Spot on.
Yeah.
Wasn't until Sully's hair I was like, holy crap, this looks photorealistic. The dust and him moving through the world and, like you said, making these boxes and just everything looks realistic, super realistic.
Yeah, so up until this time, I think that WALL-E is one of the better, animated movies. I think it's one of the more beautiful movies. Yeah. Finding Nemo was great, but WALL-E, just the scale that they give him.
That's the word, scale.
Yeah, just the scale that they give him is amazing.
The pulling back of some of those scenes are magnificent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like some of the best video games I think of are the ones that zoom in. Like I think of God of War specifically. You're doing something, and then you zoom out, and then you zoom out more, and then you're just like, holy crap. And I guarantee animators, if you would have zoomed in again on that corner over there, would be detailed to the nth degree. And it's just like, that's the part, and it is the scale of that movie, and it's the emptiness of it, right?
Exactly.
The scale helps the emptiness of that,
right?
And the world
to really give him the fact that he's alone,
right?
He doesn't have anybody, and I love his little quirks. He collects everything. He's kind of a hoarder, but it's all like organized, and he's got a little system and.
When he's going through garbage, finds like a diamond ring, he's like, throws it out and keeps the ring box,
and then there's that one part where he accidentally runs over his little friend, his little cockroach friend.
Oh no, and he pops back up.
And you legitimately feel like I had a little mini heart attack. I was like, no, not his friend, and he's fine, but it's hilarious. Like, he is a character that everyone I know who's seen it is just in love with him. Like, they love him. And what I love is I went to D23 last year. And they, normally at the D23, which is the Disney fan convention, they actually have like a robotic WALL-E.
A real WALL-E.
Yeah, a real WALL-E that rolls around and he makes the noises. And I took a picture next to him.
Best time to be alive, I promise you.
And he looks like exactly it. Like, they just took him out of the TV and he's real life. Like, that's how amazing the animation was, and that's how amazing the robotics people who built him are. He does the exact same like eye movements, and he makes the noises and his little
arms,
it's amazing. Like, you can't even tell the difference between sitting there looking at it directly at him and looking at the screen. I actually talked to my friend Eric at the bar about this movie.
Your friend.
My
Whoa.
friend.
Hey.
First name basis.
Exactly.
Because you don't know his last name.
Yeah, I don't know his last name. But he told me this story, and I was cracking up. And, he was saying about how when they work on these movies, like the animators get to go on these research trips. And we've talked about these trips before with Disney
Lion King,
animation.
The
Lion King. And we talked about it with
Safari.
Zootopia. And, we've talked about it with other movies. And so, of course, it seems like...
Well, where would you think they would go, David? To research Wall-E?
Maybe like the fighting robots. Is that where they went?
I thought we're gonna go on one of those planes where you could feel weightless space. Where they go?
You're going to space. Oh.
Yeah, they went to the dump. That was their
These
research
guys got
trip.
screwed.
Yeah, was the dump. And he was like,
Ratatouille, the guys before who made that,
Yeah.
got to go to France.
Yeah, they go to Paris.
France.
Like, can we go with that? No, you guys got to go to this dump, investigate what the garbage looks like in different forms of composition.
yeah, and then I'm sure at the time people were working on Up, so they get to go to South America.
One of those guys was like, Andrew, I told you not
Yeah.
to make this stupid movie. I told you we
And
should have gone with a beach theme, you idiot.
He told me that, and I was laughing so hard because he was saying, you walk into their room and there's pictures of trash.
Right.
It's just pictures of trashes at different stage when you first throw it out as it decomposes. He's like, and
That's
all these other
hilarious.
people got to go to these amazing places, and there's just pictures of trash in some of their offices.
That's just a badge of honor, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I love
It's
that. I love that idea that everyone else that you've worked with gets to go to an amazing place, but you got to go to the dump.
But that's
I love
why
that.
that's why that movie is so. There's I forget who said it, but he's like, you can tell a lot about a culture by just rummaging through their
Mm-hmm.
trash, because certain people, Americans, in this movie plays on that. Get rid of.
Well, not only
things.
that, I think this is the first Pixar movie where it's like, this is kind of political. Like this.
Yeah, they actually do have a
message
little bit of a message that's a little
It's a little
too
heavy.
real.
Ham-fisted.
A little too real.
It's a little
too.
Oh,
heavy.
it definitely.
You
no,
think it's
like-
ham-fisted? I don't think it's ham-fisted. I think it's.
by the end of the movie, it is. I think it is anyway.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with that. I think generally the two things that stick out of me for this movie is the sense of being alone. What you do if you're all alone. You know what I mean? Like, I think of like the best zombie motifs in movies is like, you're all alone. Like, what are you going to do? Why are you even trying? Like, what's the point? And you get some of that in here. He's collecting things and it's like, why? What's the
Yeah.
point? Because he's
At least
holding
this one. He's because he's programmed to.
No, I know, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then also the idea of like the third act of the movie is like, yeah, this is what happens. You know what I mean? And
Now that VR is big.
yeah, get ready.
Yeah.
It's coming. They're probably more right than they are wrong. So
Oh, definitely.
okay, so that's Wall-E. Love it. The trash.
Great. Awesome.
That's hilarious. If they went
Yeah,
to the
I
dump.
love that. I was like, he told me that, and I was cracking up. I thought that was the most funny
Numbers
thing I ever
guy.
heard.
You got numbers for us or no?
Yeah, another home run for Pixar. Another 96% just after Ratatouille as well. Unfortunately, this didn't do as well as the box office, I think the word of mouth didn't get out there enough with this movie.
Well, again, I think the marketing had to be careful because they don't want to give that third act. I think that's the whole point of the movie,
course,
is not
yeah.
knowing that third act. And I think that hindered them in their marketing department, which is nice that Pixar has enough freelance to be like, don't do that. Don't spoil our movie. Because we see a lot of trailers a lot of time, and it's like, I saw your movie. I know what's going to happen in your
Yep.
third act. Like, some movies, it's like, well, of course, right? The good guy's going to win. But I didn't see that coming in this movie. At no point during the movie, I was like, even halfway through the movie, I'm like, where are they going with this? Is this literally just
I
like
remember seeing that. Like,
robots in
Are we
love?
going to see people in this?
That's what I thought. I was like, robots in love.
Yeah.
Is that really where we're going with this? Like,
And I
don't
think that's why it didn't do well too, because it's like in terms of, like you said, marketing, they marketed Wall-E, they marketed Eva,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and the cockroach.
Eva.
Like, they didn't have a lot of characters to market, so there wasn't a lot of kids out there. I really want to go see. So I think it was hard, but I mean, it's still budget 180, box office 521.3 million.
But yeah,
So
we're
it definitely made money. Obviously, it just didn't do as well.
and that makes sense. Just generally from the idea of the film. But it's cool, again, that they have enough, gravitas to tell Disney, don't ruin our movie.
Oh, definitely.
So,
Yeah.
at least the marketing department. Okay.
All right, we're
Now-
moving on up.
Now we get to the movie.
Good one, Gerald. That was a good segue.
Good job. This movie, good Lord.